Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back. Today we're just going to be going over something kind of super basic about Photoshop. It's something that you understand more once you've been a little bit involved in Photoshop. So, what we're going to look over today is the Windows panel. So, with that being said, a lot of you may have noticed that the right side of your screen has changed once or twice and you're like, where the heck did this go? I don't understand. So that's where the Windows panel comes in. So if you go to the top, it's going to be the second to last option. You're going to see Window, and you're going to see this thing called Workspace. And in Workspace, it depends what you're really working on. In the classes that I specifically teach, we mostly just work on editing. So we usually work in essentials, but if you're not in my class, you could be working on an abundance of things. So, like I said, I like to work in essentials. It keeps my workspace how I want it, it's how I'm used to it. But since you're new to this, you can kind of discover what you prefer, which is really cool. And like I said, it also depends what you're working on. So if you can go down to workspace, you have 3D, motion, painting, photography, and graphic and web. So you can use any of those. They're all a little bit different. Graphic and web, you can see character is ultimately the main thing here, and so is libraries. You can look up templates, stuff like that. And then you can go into, let's see, motion. Um, Down here, you have a whole timeline. That's not something that I've ever really worked with. So if you're working with, you know, motion stuff, you can. It's to work on motion graphics. A really good tool to use for that too is the product that Adobe also has, which is Adobe Animate. So if you bought Creative Cloud, that's something you could also use that I would prefer to use for my motion graphics. You can go into painting, and it automatically brings up your paintbrush panel right over here. You can go into photography, and that has your adjustments, and adjustments are huge for photographers. When I am working on photography and I'm using Photoshop instead of Lightroom, adjustments panel is where I do everything. So you can go ahead, work on those, see what you like best with what you're doing. You can also create your own workspace. So if you have something that you prefer, something that you can go back to and you're like, this is how I want it. So that way you don't have to change it every time. But if there's ever something that you're missing, so say I was working in my normal essentials, if I noticed that my layers panel went away, it's probably because there's not a check mark next to my layers panel. So see, once I clicked that, I'm going to move my face here for a second. Once I moved my or checked on my layers panel check mark went away, and so did it down here. So all I have to go is go back into window and click right back on layers, and it'll pop up right here, or it'll pop up on the side. Sometimes you just need to put it back where it came from. Um, so you grab the top and it turns blue, and that's how you put it in. Some of the ones that I use often are my paragraph, my swatches, styles I use a lot. When I'm working with brushes, I like to have my brushes up. I work in my characters panel a lot, but that's usually automatically pulled up when I or am working on my text. So a lot of times Photoshop understands what you're working on and automatically pulls those up for you. So with that being said, that is your Windows panel. That's what it does. And I hope this helped you kind of understand and helped you to know how to fix something when it disappears. So I will see you all next time, and have a great day.